Hey everybody, I'm Mecca coming at you, and in today's video we are going to talk about one of my most favorite subjects to talk about, and that is how to get more done in a day. Hey everybody, I'm coming at you, Mecca and Julieli. Which need best keywords in India, and
they need that problem solved, Americans.
Why not?
Range Rover Sport Supercharged.
If your income goal is $500,000.
How's it going, everybody? If you want to learn 3 things, how to increase your income so you can take back your freedom, so you can design your ultimate lifestyle, make sure you smash that subscribe button, turn bell notifications on so you never miss another video. All right, so today we're gonna talk about time management and really just how to get the absolute most from your day. And this is such an important topic because we're all given the same 24 hours in a day, but how can some people get so much done and others are just sitting around watching Netflix all day? And hey, I've been guilty of both sides of the spectrum here, so I can relate if you're watching a little too much Game of Thrones or whatever your poison is right now. So I want to kind of walk you through what a typical day is for me, and at the end of this video I got 4 things that really has helped me prioritize and get the absolute most of being the most productive I can be. So make sure you stick around for the very end. All right, so here's what a typical day is for me. My alarm goes off anytime between 5:30 and 6 a.m. It's usually set at 6. I know that was the time that I got up today, and got up. I have my coffee, and really for the first 20-30 minutes as I'm kind of waking up, getting the thing going, I'm drinking my coffee, having my peanut butter and jam on my toast, and watching car videos. And literally that's how I start, the first like 30-40 minutes of my day. Most important thing to keep in mind here is what works for me might not work for you. So I'm gonna give you some pointers on some things that you might need to adjust, but I've tried so many different things. This is what brings me the most joy, helps me just get in the right mind. I just enjoy doing that. So I take a bit of time for myself to do something I enjoy doing. Some people scream at themselves like an idiot in the morning or whatever the case is. And if that's you, like if you need that Tony Robbins rah-rah bullshit, like if you need that, then you need to go and scream at yourself in the mirror saying, I am wonderful. That shit doesn't work for me. And so once again, what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for the next person. That is totally cool. Even for my wife, we're very similar on different on many things, but what kind of gets me going does not get her going, right? But that's okay. We still get along great. So I get up in the morning, have my coffee, and then have my breakfast. And then I hit the gym, the goal is 7 a.m. It doesn't happen at 7 a.m. all the time. Sometimes it happens at 8, sometimes it happens a little later, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the goal is 7:30, and I'm there for an hour and a half. I come home, and then it's family time, and the kids are up, and they're usually excited to see. Raph's always excited to see me. Julia, it depends on how the night was for her, but then it's family time. Kiss the wife, she's making me breakfast, and I'll usually play with the kids for a little bit and hang out. And then my work day usually starts around 12 p.m. And I take, the kids and Mariana to her parents, and I typically work from 12 to 6, 12 to 5, depending on what's going on. What I've just described to you is pretty much how 80% of the days during the week go. One of the joys of being self-employed, being able to work, from your laptop, you're able to just go with the flow. Can we get this done, or whatever, we have this going on, I can just make the adjustments and make sure I can be where I need to be. Let's talk about the whole working out thing. I know some people like to get up and they're most productive in the morning, and a couple of my buddies, they're most productive in the morning and they like to work out later in the afternoon. For me, that doesn't work. I need to go for a run, hit up the gym. I need that in the morning just to clear my head, to, take out frustrations. I need that in the morning. So if I don't do that in the morning and I try to do it like later in the day, the first part of the day is a complete wash for me. Nothing really, I just can't be as productive. So you have to kind of be self-aware and see what's going to work best for you. Are you somebody who needs to work out in the morning? Are you somebody who works out better at night, and you're good for the next day? Do you have to go work out in the afternoon? I used to work out in the afternoon, like around 1 or 2 p.m. And but it just changed. Or do you not even have to work out? Do you just not need to do any of that? So you have to find out what works best for you. One thing I didn't have on here is reading. That's one of the struggles. I have it down here as a struggle. That's one of the struggles I have to get back into my daily routine, is just reading. And why I'm fighting it right now is I'm just trying to fight what's the best time for me to sit down, turn everything off, and read a book. Let me talk about some of the struggles. Social media is a big one. Social media is a big struggle, and I reached out to somebody to kind of get a different perspective on this, and it's actually been working pretty well this week. But one of the big things I'm really trying to focus on is from 12 till 6 p.m. during the day, not being on social media at all. Now it's hard because social media drives my business to a certain extent. But that's just one of the big areas right now that I'm focusing on. Is just from 12 to 6 p.m. not being on Facebook, not getting distracted with useless YouTube videos or stuff like that. Discipline is another big thing that I think, taking into account with everything, getting up when your alarm goes off is one of the best habits you can develop. When your alarm goes off, and little secret, I was gonna say I sleep in the bedroom. No shit. Sleep in a bedroom on a bed, but my alarm is on my phone, and I keep that out in the living room. So I get up, and it's a race, because the one reason I get up early is I want me time. I want my Emeka time. I don't want everyone else up, because then that fucks up Emeka time, because then it turns into everybody's time. And I have to get up before the alarm wakes up everybody else. Before it wakes up Raf, before it wakes up Julia Alejandra, Mariana's, she's all good, but I have to make sure I turn that off before the kids wake up. Otherwise, my morning's fucked. So discipline, getting up as soon as your alarm gets off, that is key. Sticking to your schedule. This is probably, after getting up when your alarm gets off, one of the most important things you can do. Stick to your schedule. When something's in my calendar, and I put everything in my calendar, which we'll talk about in a second, is sticking to that one thing. For example, today it's filming, right? It was filming from 1 to 4 p.m. It's just filming videos, nothing else. Making sure I started at 1 o'clock and I filmed till 4 o'clock. That's exactly what I'm doing. It's 3:20 right now. Because I hate missing out on things, because then it screws up the rest of the week. If I didn't get this filming done, when am I going to get these videos? I'm going to start falling behind, and that's just not good. Another important thing to note is there are things that are going to be out of your control, right? For example, if Mariana calls, and it's my wife if you're brand new, but she calls, says, hey, we got to do this, whatever. Understanding, being my own boss, I can move things around and make those adjustments. So I'm not as dead set on the schedule as, it's like, oh no, this can't move. There are certain things that cannot move, and it's like, I can't do that. You got to do it on your own. I got this going on. But things happen, life happens, especially those of you who have kids, or you're married, or whatever the case is. There is a bit of leeway you have to have with your schedule. But let's talk about your schedule for a second, because this is one of the things I learned back in my sales days. If you want it done, you put it in your schedule. I'll put up my schedule right now. I'll take a look at it, and I have absolutely everything going on in my schedule. So for Monday, for example, it was, February, March income report, update PayPal, business planning, upload other videos. And then that was it. That was my Monday schedule. Tuesday, haircut. You guys can kind of see it. Write Cancun emails, finish Cancun purchase emails, academy call, right? Wednesday, filming. Everything I want done gets scheduled. If it's not in my schedule, it doesn't get done. Doesn't look like I have ballet in here, right? But Mariana even knows if there's like a birthday party or if there's something going on, she'll be able to schedule into my calendar for me, because otherwise I won't see it. I don't remember it. If there's anything outside of the schedule, like right now, my weekend is completely open, 100% open, because Mariana has not scheduled anything for my weekend. So she knows that if it's not scheduled in the weekend, that means the weekend's, it's free for all. I can schedule whatever I want in there. What is not in the schedule does not happen. And this is one of the most powerful things that I've ever done. Keeping on the schedule part is sticking to your schedule and saying no more often. That's one thing I'm really, really getting a lot better at. I used to want to be pleasing everybody, especially all of last year, 2018. It was, yes, trying to please everybody. And, people think you're weak, think they can take advantage of you. And yes, definitely, some people took advantage of me. But one thing I'm getting a lot better at this year is just saying no. For example, my coaching calls, I only do coaching calls on Wednesday now. And that's it. And, I remember I've had, some people, and, I can't remember. I think it was a teacher or something. And, it was my coaching calls I do from 12 to 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. That's when I do my coaching calls. He's like, oh, I can't make it. I'm, this or that. I'm like, bro, that's not my problem. Not my problem. This is a you problem, not a me problem. You need to figure it out if you want to work with me. You need to figure it out. And, there are very, very, very rare occasions. If I've been working with somebody for a while, like Suraj, for example, I'll have calls with him like 7 a.m. because of his time change, but I've been working with him for a while. He had proven that he was willing to wake up at 2 in the morning to fit my schedule for the coaching call because he saw the value in it. Okay, so the last part I want to give you is this quadrant. And I'll try to get a picture up for you guys, but there's urgent and important things, and then there's not urgent, important things, not urgent, not important, and urgent and not important. Everything you do is going to fall into one of these quadrants, one of these areas. And so let's take a look. Urgent and important. The things that I wrote down here are things that are like, site issues, program issues, something like if there's like a payment processor's not working or something like that, or a video on the sales page is down. Those are urgent. They have to be dealt with right away, and they're extremely important because it directly affecting the business, right? Those type of things. Those things that are going to affect your business right now or your life right now have to be dealt with. Those priority one. Things that are not urgent but they're still important. So I put down emails for this. So this is like, when somebody sends me an email, emails are important. Most of them are, but they're not urgent, right? And so I don't try to check my inbox throughout the, I like to check it a couple times throughout the day. I'm not checking it every time an email comes in. Then things that are not urgent and not important. So this is like all social media. It's not urgent and it's not important. It can be dealt with whenever. And then the last quadrant is urgent and not important. And I actually couldn't think of anything. I'm sure there's something, but I couldn't think of anything when I was making these notes here. So what would you classify as something that's urgent but not important? Something that has to get done but it's not overly important? I'm just looking at my car right now. Maybe like gas. Your gas light's on. It's urgent, but it's just not an important thing to get done. That's pretty good. I don't know. Do you agree with me? Anyways, everybody, let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. Do you have any questions? What are you struggling with right now when it comes to time management? Love to know. Until next time, everybody, I'm Emeka, and speak to you all soon.